I've been thinking about this for an awful long time because I meet people all the time who are buying businesses. And the reason that I do is I'm a bankruptcy attorney. And I always meet the people who bought a business and they thought it was going to go great and then it didn't. So I thought I would share with you a few things that I've learned about buying a business when you shouldn't. What kind of business shouldn't you buy? It's almost anything that somebody wants to sell. If the business is making enough money, why would anybody ever sell it? I mean, think about it. If you're buying a business that's selling anything other than a personal service, then the person running the business should never have a reason to sell it. If it's making good money, there's no reason at all. What would be a good reason? I'm retiring. Really? So if you're retiring, you want to shut off the cash flow? Why would you do that? I'm too sick to work it anymore. Really, if you're too sick to work it anymore, then the business isn't making money to begin with. And you know what the proof of that is? If the business cannot afford to hire a manager and run without you, then it's not a business to begin with. You're toast. You're not making a profit. Yeah, if the business can hire a manager and have a profit over and above that puts money in your pocket, that's a business worth buying. But if it can't do that, then it's hardly even a business worth selling. And you as a buyer, as a potential buyer, you have to realize, why is this person selling a business? If it's a personal service business and you're buying a business that has supposedly a book of business, then you want to see all the financial books. Then you want to actually meet the customers. You want to see that customer list, and you want to be able to actually call a few of them and know that they're actually alive. You want to know that they still kind of live somewhere nearby the business that you're buying, because otherwise you're just getting a list of names. So seriously, if you're thinking about buying a business, you have to look at the books. And when I say look at the books, okay, so they hand you a bunch of ledgers, they hand you a bunch of, notebooks and crap like this, and they're not put together very well. You can see that there are errors in it, and then you buy the business anyway. Why do you do that? I've seen so many people do that kind of stuff. No, the books you want to look at are, you want to see the bank statements, you want to see statements from PayPal, you want to see the statements from Square Card Reader, you want to see not only their business bank statements, you want to see all their personal bank statements. And then, like I said, I was saying before, you need to actually meet and greet and glad hand all the customers. You need to meet those people and make sure that they actually exist. Now, if you're talking about a business that is not a personal services business, but something with a retail storefront of some sort, like a restaurant or small bakery, shoe store, doesn't matter what it is, machine shop, body shop, small car dealership, I don't care. Doesn't matter what it is. You have to ask, why are they selling it? You have to ask that. If in a personal services business, if I'm too sick to work my law practice, I don't think anybody's going to be terribly interested in buying my practice. It's not like I have a ton of repeat customers as a bankruptcy attorney. Divorce attorneys, maybe. Business attorneys. There are a lot of different kinds of attorneys who have a lot of repeat business, who have a lot of customer support that goes on, and that's great. In bankruptcies, not a ton of repeat business. If you do, it's every several years. So Just for example. But if we're talking about a store that sells goods of any sort, why are they selling it? I really want you to be asking that, because if it made enough of a profit, you could be sick, and the business is making enough money to pay a manager, have a profit left over, pay you a dividend. If you're retiring, if the business is actually viable and doing well, it's going to be making a profit after paying a manager to run it and paying you a dividend. Why would you give up that annuity? I mean, that's basically just like owning an annuity and not having to do squat. Why would you ever give that up? Nobody in their right mind. So why are they selling it? Because they're lying to you. There's no profit. There's not enough profit. And you're looking at it going, oh, I can make a profit with this. Why? The guy that's been doing it for 10 years can't make a profit, and what makes you think you can do a better job? Maybe you could, but it's so unlikely. I mean, really. So the location is probably not a great location. Or it's, I remember one guy said they bought a business, it was a hobby shop, because they thought that people should get back into doing hobbies instead of being on their PlayStations. You know, kids and stuff. Really? If you wanted to buy a viable business, you should have bought a PlayStation store. Give me a break. What a silly thing to say. Give me a break. Seriously, you got to think about what it is you're doing, where you're doing it, how much it's going to cost you, how much is going to be left over, and can it actually pay a manager to run the thing? And if it can't, then you're not buying a viable business to begin with. There's no profit there. You know, you're buying a job. And if you're just buying a job, it's so much of a headache that you should just go get a job. Unless it actually makes a profit and can hire somebody to run it. Now then, you have to be very careful about who you hire to run it, so that that person doesn't bankrupt you. Has to be somebody who truly is competent, not your brother-in-law who doesn't have a job and you want to help him out. Not your sister who, she's been a housewife for 20 years and needs to get back in the workforce. Don't be the person who makes that mistake. Let someone else do it. Let her be trained well by somebody, then you can put her to work. Meanwhile, you need somebody who is trained well to put them to work, or they will bankrupt you for you. Even if it was a good business to begin with, I've seen it happen over and over again.